All right, we are pleased to be joined once again, third time now, I believe, you joining Pod on Lansdowne, Emily. I think this is number 3, which I think puts you in the lead for recurring guests of the program. I think. I have to double check that, though.
Wow. I am shocked and honestly honored that Alex Verdugo made this possible for me. Really,
Right?
I can't believe
Yeah.
it.
Alex
Who
Verdugo for
thought
the
we'd
hat
be
trick.
here?
Folks, if you knew Emily Nyman, one of our good friends of the program, even though she is a Yankees fan, it's not every day, Emily, that we get a Red Sox-Yankees deal. This is only the 8th time since 1969 that these two rivals have made a deal. So, to honor the occasion and considering how big it is, we had to get you onto the program. Welcome back onto Pod on Lansdowne. It's good to have you back.
Thank you. It is fantastic to be back. Fantastic.
Of course, the big news, by the time you're listening to this now, we'll already have gone into the episode proper, you the listener. But just to set the scene here, of course, as you are well aware, Alex Verdugo, no longer a Boston Red Stocking. He is a New York Yankee as we record this now. I don't know how long he will be a New York Yankee. We'll talk about that in a couple moments. But he has been traded from the Red Sox to the Yankees in exchange for, I'm looking it up here because I had to get their names off the top of my head. I didn't know them off the dome. Richard Fitts, Dick Fitts, Greg Weissert, and Nicholas Judas in the deal. Let's just get right to it, Emily. The history between Alex Verdugo with the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. A short history, only a couple years, but as one article, I believe it was NewJersey.com, they called it checkered, a checkered history between Alex Verdugo and the Yankees. Of course, you have the incident in 21 where he gets into the spat with the fans, this, that, the other thing. With him now set to wear pinstripes in 24, you were the first person I thought of. What do you make of it? What do you think about Verdugo being added to the team? Is he going to take number 99 from Judge? What's going to happen?
Yeah, right. Judge will just hold him, like when really bigger people push the forehead of someone who's smaller than them and they just kind of swing their arms uselessly. That would be him trying to take 99 from Judge. Judge just sit down. But personally, I mean, I can't help but feel like the Yankees are really trying to test my fanhood personally with the team because they just seem to be trying to acquire every player that I absolutely hate. First, it was Josh Donaldson. God, why are you doing this to me?
Which we spoke about that last time you were on. We spoke about that in depth, how much we can't stand Donaldson. But yes.
What have I done? What did I do to anger the baseball gods? And now Verdugo. But of course, he's a Yankee now. So as of today, I love Alex Verdugo. Always have. I've always respected him a lot and always shown a lot of respect, super respect for him. I mean, I guess if he's going to be a fourth outfielder, because let's assume the Soto deal goes through as we know it or what's been rumored. If they bring Grisham in, you assume he's a fourth outfielder. There could be worse fourth outfielders in the league than Verdugo, who was a starting player for 4 years on our rival. So.
Yeah, I mean, I was curious to hear that sort of a take. What you think of the player itself? Because from the other end, from the Boston end, for the last couple months with the poor guy, it just seemed like it was writing on the wall that he was not going to be here in 24. With the expiring deal after this upcoming season. Mixed with how his second half of the season went, he only ended up, I think, with exactly a 100 OPS plus after a great start. He had a great start to first month or two of 23, just couldn't put it together. He was dealing with some stuff off the field, family stuff, but it didn't go according to plan towards the end of the year. So entering this offseason from our end, and I'm sure I'll be repeating this point when we actually do the episode proper, is that the writing did seem to be on the wall. So to hear that on the other end, knowing that you've seen Verdugo in a Red Sox uniform, have some pretty big moments. I mean, he was part of that 21 wildcard game to knock around the Yankees a bit. Again, obviously that situation in July of 21. I guess if he were a full-time player for the team, or even if he is a fourth outfielder for the Yankees, the expectations you would have with him. Offense kind of sliding a little bit over the last couple of years for him, but playing at Yankee Stadium with the short porch in right field, I guess, are you just kind of, seeing what happens on the 1 year, considering that he could be a free agent afterwards? What are you feeling there in terms of your expectation?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Yankees had so many holes last year, and they had so many issues last year that weren't just going to be fixed by up. bad luck. Let's try again next year. I kind of, and I'm stealing this from a good friend, Max Greenfield. I kind of like that. It seems like the Yankees are doing just try to get good and decent players, and we'll figure out the rest later. Like, we'll figure out where everyone will fit. Maybe we can flip some of these guys, maybe not. Like, I can't be mad at it. I don't know what the plan is. I'm happy that they're just doing something, because I was worried that it was going to be we kind of had a lot of bad luck, because they did to some degree last year in terms of catastrophic injuries and bad down years from certain players. Like, but still, that roster wasn't getting any younger. They needed to bring in some new blood. And I mean, now Ellsbury wasn't hated the same way that Verdugo is hated by Yankee fans. And obviously, like, Ellsbury just doesn't have that, like, kind of sleazy scumbag side of him that, like, when he's your guy, you love it with Verdugo, but when he's not your guy, you absolutely hate it.
It comes in ebbs and tides when he's on your team.
Same thing with Johnny Damon. Like, but this isn't uncharted territory in terms of, like, a player coming from the Red Sox, and in the case of Ellsbury and Damon, it was you hated him because of how much they would fucking motherfuck us on the field. Now it's like, this guy did it a little bit, like you said, but Yankee fans, they will hate you. They'll hate you when you're on the Red Sox. They'll love you when you're on the Yankees. They will hate you when you're on the Yankees too, if you don't play well. But I think that it's exciting to shake up this roster. This roster's been kind of the same, with a few guys here or there, bringing in your Billy McKinneys and what have you that come in for a year and then bounce. Like, so I'm happy to have someone that's, like, more of a name, even if he is a 100 weighted runs created kind of player, an average player. Like, I just like it. I like the mix up. I just like it.
Are there any questions that you have for me as a Red Sox fan about the Alex Verdugo experience? I would be more than happy to help.
Yeah, like, how do you think his whole vibe will play in the Bronx? Because he's kind of got, like, that. I feel like in Boston now, forgive me, but I feel like in Boston, it's like his, like, super kind of white guy with, like, his grill and, like, his chains, and hey, I like that kind of thing. I think that vibe is cool. Like, but how do you think that's going to translate to the Bronx? Because he won't be able to. They won't lean into that same side of him. So, like, what's his deal going to be? Do you think
it could be a whole Jekyll and Hyde thing with Verdugo, just based off the fact that the beard has to go? I mean, he's had
totally different person.
He's had that Brillo pad beard for the last couple of years. You know what I mean? And if that's his thing, then vaya con Dios, I guess, Doogie. You know what I mean? Do what you need to do. I mean, I don't know if you saw the pictures going around last night. We were recording this Wednesday night, so the night that trade happened Tuesday. Was it like a Chat GDP AI generated Doogie without a beard? He looked like Fred
horrible.
Durst. He looked exactly like Fred Durst. That's what I thought.
It's horrifying.
So I think maybe, like, once the beard goes, maybe there's, like, because listen, the whole thing with Doogie is it was a poorly kept secret that some people had some issues with potentially his maturity. Being punctual, being on time. That's not even a secret. Cora was very, forward with that situation this past year. So in terms of handling the Bronx situation, with New York obviously being a bigger city, but still cut from that Northeast United States sort of cloth, you talk New York, Boston, Philly has the same sort of an attitude, you know what I mean? Rough around the edges. Doogie's character, from what I've gathered the last couple of years watching him, is that it will go so well in terms of his personality in the locker room and whatnot until it doesn't. Until it will, if it hit like a bit of a patch, if he has like one little incident, it's not going to be, the happy, joy Alex Verdugo. Now, when things were on with Doogie, he was very fun to play. He got better defensively towards the end of his Red Sox tenure. Had a great defensive year this year. And then he'll have, a couple weeks at a time where he's a doubles machine. He still ended up with I think over 30 doubles this year, but just because his first half, he had some ridiculous number. So when he's playing well, it's great, but it's not necessarily a situation of, I'm trying to find the way to word this. Trying to find the correct word. When things aren't going as well, you can kind of tell. It's kind of on the surface there, and you'll start to sense a bit of a vibe.
I feel like
wish
he's
him
like
well.
Alex Manoah-ish in that way. That it's like, oh, he's super edgy, but then when things aren't going well, it's like he's just looks like a fucking baby.
Not as douchey as Manoah.
Thank
Definitely
God.
not as douchey, but it's still a little bit of a like. Again, it's been a couple years of like, dude, you're now like one of the more tenured players on the team just by virtue of you being here since the Mookie trade. You know what I mean? You can't be coming out, showing up late for work. Can't be showing up to the park late. And he'll say the right things when he gets benched. Like, I understand why I'm benched. For showing up late. Not that it happens all the time, but the situations that it did, I guess he did say the right things. I would just tread a little lightly in terms of that. Again, when things are going well, it's like, damn, like this is a legit dude. He's playing good defense. Can swing a good bat. Oh, by the way, get ready for the worst base running you've ever seen in your entire life. He's
with him or Juan Soto, because I feel like we're now bringing the two worst base runners in the league to the Yankees.
Right? At least Juan Soto is going to be able to post like a 900 plus OPS for you there.
That's true.
Verdugo has made just some of the dumbest base running mistakes I've ever seen watching baseball, and I've watched it however many years at this point. On a team that exceptionally is bad at running the bases. He rose above, that cream to the cream rising to the top. Whatever the fucking saying is, it was really bad. That's the point. It was really bad base running.
I mean, I'm ready for it. I think that not that the Yankees, not that I'm like the Yankees need some more horrible base running in their repertoire, but like they need kind of a spark like that. They need someone who's kind of like a firecracker. You know what I mean?
And
like,
he is a firecracker. I will say that.
Firecrackers can be great. They can also be horrible. Like things can go horribly wrong with firecrackers. So I feel like that's the kind of thing the Yankees need a little bit. And also it'll be easy to blame things. Because you know how everyone loves to blame when they're not winning well. Then all of a sudden, oh, the clubhouse is fucked up. This is not right. The vibe, even though we don't have any reason to actually say any of that or believe it, because the Yankees do run a pretty tight ship. But I feel like he's going to be the perfect person to blame. So if things start going wrong, it's going to be because Verdugo's vibe is not right and he's causing problems in the clubhouse. And I like that because I hate him already. So it'll be easy for me to be like, you know what?
I can't lose.
I can't lose. And it's so hard for me. I'll go online, I'll be on Twitter, and I will see people's opinions every year. And I'm like, Emily, do not engage, but I have no self-control, so I can't help it. But with Verdugo, I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm going to let these rumors fly. Even though we have no way to prove this, I'm just going to let it go that he's the cancer on the team. If their first 3-game streak of losses this year, I'm just going to let it go.
I will say, I'm not totally trying to bash on Doogie here, because on the flip side of it, playing in a big, obviously, the biggest of markets, New York, with the Yankees, the history and, the legacy, all that bullshit, blah, blah, blah.
Go on.
Yeah, right. No, keep going, Fitz. He is a guy who can rise to the occasion in a big moment. It doesn't even have to be a home run. He's had his fair share of clutch home runs, but even if it's, just a slap single up the middle to drive, 2 guys in, he can stand and deliver in those big moments. And I don't think the pressure on the field of, even if it's a, big market, big stage, I don't think that would totally faze him. So that's the other side of it. You know what I mean? Again, when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's it's kind of like, oh boy, like, strap in for this one. So even if you get to see
a lot of the
sides,
Yankees, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's been like the Yankees lineup for the last few years. It's like the heart of our order, with the exception of Judge, has been like, when he's good, he's amazing. But when he's bad, holy shit, it's the worst baseball we've ever seen. So it's nothing I'm not used to, I suppose.
And you get it for the 1 year, unless you, for whatever reason, decide, oh, you know what? We need to extend Alex Verdugo.
Right. Unless Brian Cashman gets hit in the head with a 2x4 and just has fucking CTE and it's like, you know what? I'm signing Doogie to a long-term deal.
Fuck the analytics and signing Doogie. And then again, this could all be a moot point because I don't think it's going to happen. I think there have been reports saying he's not going to be involved in a deal for Juan Soto, but hey, who knows anything, right? I mean, John Heyman a year ago said Arson Judge was going to go to the Giants, so who knows what anyone knows exactly. So it could be a moot point.
And apparently a few reputable sources, like Brian, I'm not trying to imply that I have secret sources. It's just too many big names on Twitter for me to list right now, so you guys get the gist. But a bunch of them have been saying that the thing holding up like the Soto trade right now is just medicals and like the Padres reviewing medicals. So even in the event they don't like what they see for somebody, Doogie could end up filling that hole. You don't know.
That's
like
true.
He could even be brought in for something like that. I love the idea of him just being like some pawn right now and him just being like, I'm only in. I hope they make him shave his beard and then they trade him. Is that really
just
mean
as a fuck you to him? Like,
yes. Press conference, take the grill out, even though I love that kind of thing. Don't get me wrong. Just completely strip this man of his personality and then be like, you're traded actually right after the press conference. You're
going back to Cali. I can't. I saw your tweet earlier today saying like you don't give a shit about 2025 when it comes to the Yankees because of the primes of Garrett Cole and Aaron Judge. So I can't imagine you're too heartbroken about any of these pitchers being traded to Boston.
No,
even if one of them's named Dick Fitz, like
I know that one is tough. That is a tough pill to swallow. Probably could have used a better metaphor for that considering. But I also am sad to say Greg Weissert go just for the only reason that he is from Bayshore, New York, which is the area that I grew up in. I grew up in Islip, which is right next to Bayshore. And not many big leaguers come from this area of Long Island. Like, it's just not really a hotbed for baseball. So when he got promoted on the Yankees and he made his big league debut and he made a few and he contributed to the team, I'm happy to see his career continue, even if it is in Boston. But I am sad to see him go just because he's a hometown boy and we don't get that many of those around here.
Someone posted his some highlights from him on Pitching Ninja, and it got me a bit excited. So I was like, I'm already talking myself into this Greg Weissert guy.
He's good. He's got good stuff. He does. I mean, he can't. Listen. You know how it is with relievers because even Michael King is amazing, and I'm sad to see him go to San Diego, but not enough for them to not do the deal. But
For
even, relievers, they have some clunkers, but he was mostly solid, Weissert. So I think you guys got a good pickup, and I can't wait for the series where he fucking shoves up the Yankees' ass a few times. It's going to happen. I just know it.
Well, Doogie's probably going to shove it up our ass at some point because, again, if he's if you get him on the good swing of the firecracker pendulum and we're coming to Yankee Stadium, we're screwed.
Please, God, I need that in my life.
Last question for you, just because this has been a big topic for us, and just considering the discourse the last couple of days, I'm curious your thoughts on it. Your percentage, 0 to 100, your confidence that the Yankees are going to sign Yamamoto. Please say negative 400%. Please, 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 because we.
I can't believe you said that because I was thinking negative 400%, but then I recently, and maybe it's the Juan Soto deal that's kind of got me a little gassed up in the head. But I'm feeling like 99.999% chance.
Soto
which obviously means it's not going to happen, and they're probably nowhere close. So.
Soto would, of course, piss me off, but it'd be like, okay, all right, it's not exactly murderer's row from top to bottom. It's a pretty, couple pretty good hitters there, but there's still some question marks.
Right.
If it's that and then Yamamoto, I'll be like,
oh my God.
Like, you know what
we'll
I mean?
Be back.
We're
Evil Empire is so close. We are like Jedi. Return of the Jedi close to coming back, Evil Empire. Like, we got a portion of the skeleton of the Death Star kind of made. Like, it's still got a long way to go, but we're almost back. We're putting
the Death Star blows up in that one too, so it doubles up.
Spoiler alert!
I know, it's enough time, right? Yeah, if someone's still working on the original trilogy, my apologies. It's the least best of the 3 original ones at the very least. So.
Oh, by far. I couldn't agree more.
Empire, New Hope, and then Return of the Jedi are the top 3.
Yes, I even think Revenge of the Sith is better than Return of the Jedi, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the the revival of the prequel trilogy. Everyone being on board with that. I would still say Return of the Jedi is better, but 3 is the one like all right prequel movie. I will say 1 and 2 are straight garbage. Anyways, so
I still love them though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they have a soft spot in the heart. For people who want to hear more from you, Emily, if for whatever reason, if they're on a Red Sox podcast and they want to listen to a Yankees podcast or just general shenanigans, where can they find you and where can they listen?
You can find me on Twitter or X or whatever at MSheDoesIt. And Breaking Balls, we've been on a little bit of a hiatus, but feeling creative lately. The Soto trades got me feeling good, so hopefully we'll have some episodes in the next coming weeks. You can find that at Breakballs Pod or any platform you can listen to. We have 120 episodes if you want to listen to it and give us a shot, see if it's something you'd like.
And if there's any other Red Sox Yankees trade, we'll talk to you at that point. And if not, well, then we'll just have you back on for the divisional previews like we always do. Emily Nyman, everyone, again, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.